Be live, which is nice. Hello there. We are in the middle of Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Mirage, set in the Caliphate era of Baghdad. We're playing this actually largely because the new Assassin's Creed has come out. Actually, it came out ages ago. I haven't got round to playing it, but I've played every other Assassin's Creed in order. And they take up a whole bunch of time. And so I figured, in the grand scheme of sort of educational everything, if I'm going to be playing this, may as well stream it. Because why not? So I don't exactly know what I'm doing, but I'm going to employ the wonders of Enkidu.
I need your eyes, my friend.
Enkidu is this falcon here. Long-range reconnaissance, all that sort of stuff. And Enkidu is here to help us on our path. So, what are all these gold things here? These gold things are presumably markers. They are presumably dudes. However, they're not getting... Oh, hang on. They all fell over. They don't seem like they're bad dudes, though. They seem like they're fine. So we will forget about them. We shall send Enkidu on their way. No idea what Enkidu does when I disentangle from Enkidu. So what we've been doing so far, gentle listener, gentle viewer, in fact, is to go around and basically synchronize all of these viewpoints. Synchronizing viewpoints basically means that you can then use it as a fast travel point, which is of course useful. We're doing this in and around the outskirts of your Baghdad region. Your Baghdad is here, round city. Apparently this is pretty much correct. Baghdad was a series of concentric circles. And then you've got other areas down here, but we are to the northwest, over here to be precise. So we are going to set a course for over here, and by setting a course I would have hoped that it would have created some sort of marker. It has, kind of. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we shall follow, we shall grab our trusty mount, we shall jump on our trusty mount. My goal for today, while I live stream for the next, I don't know, half hour or so, firstly is to go over to this point, secondly is to get into some mischief and find loot, booty if you will. And the third thing I'd like to do is to not go into any of the screens and ask what buttons do what. I feel like we've played this game for a couple of hours now, and to be honest, I should really be better than asking the game every now and again what's going on. But in the meantime, we shall ride slowly. Can we sprint while we ride? We can, but I suspect it'll tucker our camel out, and one cannot have a tuckered out camel. Alright. Now, does he go faster if he follows the roads? Potentially. I also suspect that around here is a place that one could get into mischief. Nope. Something I was wrong about. So you can always tell these fast travel points because they've generally got a bunch of birds crowding around them, which is never a great sign. Right, we are at the northern oasis. Am I going to be slaughtered by a bunch of dudes? Possibly not, but we will dismount, say goodbye to our trusty steed, and be grateful that we remembered the key prompt for what was dismount. Okay, this is slightly weird. So one of the things I'm hoping... Oh, hang on. Collect. Oh, so many things to collect. Flamingo feather. I suspect flamingo feathers are going to be important later on. They're not right now, but I'm not really that far into the game. And I'm not doing a hell of a lot to move the story forward. So my hope here is that this point opens up additional points to explore. I'm also hoping that around here will be another dungeon under which I can find loot. And also probably stab a bunch of dudes, because inherent in finding loot is the promise of stabbing a bunch of dudes. Alright. Does not look like there's any loot nor dudes for the stabbing. So we shall continue on our way. One thing... Oh, hang on. One thing that it is... Oh, here we go. Alright, so... It seems that there is a place where one can get a bunch of loot. Behind that door there. What I need is a basket that is conveniently on fire. Or to find a place where I can conveniently explode the fiery thing behind that there destructible wall. So we'll go around in circles a little bit for a while. That obviously doesn't infuriate anyone. And we shall look for a some form of basket or urn that is on fire. Now, one thing I suspect is perhaps half of the... Oh, hang on. Here we go.
What do you see?
Alright. Now, I think if you sprint... And then... okay. I was going to say, I think if you sprint and also crouch, it'll let you slide under things. But I don't think that's anything worth sliding under. Instead, let us collect all of this loot here. And let us find a flaming thing. Oh, now. I do have a torch. And I might use that torch to attempt to set fire to an urn. I'm not sure what the fire mechanics of this game are. Actually, no, these urns look like they're non-interactable. Alright. On our way to find an urn. Premium gameplay you find on Game Badly today. Looking for an urn. Lots of hare feet. There's probably a Muppet Movie-esque joke about that, and a whole bunch of rabbits on crutches, but, you know, we won't dive into that too much. Okay. Nothing there. Okay, so what happens? That's using your noodle. Right, okay. Alright, so with an application of throwing knives, we've got components. I was hoping for adventure, if I'm honest. I was hoping for some form of dungeon filled with waterfalls and things that we were, you know, accustomed to within this game. Alright. Okay, so have we opened up any more fast travel points? We have not. Shame. There is this over here though. Although that looks like it's pretty well sorted. There's also this thing here, this lake. I used my words then. Right behind us, kind of over here. And with a bit of luck, if we go to that lake, we might find things. We did have a dude. We found a thing. We found a journal or something. And it did say something on the lines of, you know, there is treasure in an aquatic places. So I'm going to dive and we're going to take a look. This looks very much like this is supposed to be a place that one goes in and explores and has adventures. Whether I have the breath to get through it, I don't know. This could be a near-run thing. Okay. Go into our standard crouch pose. And go exploring. Okay. Okay, so what we've found ourselves in, I think, is one of the Isu, I think they're called. It's kind of like they're supposed to be the MacGuffins of the entire Assassin's Creed world. Yes. Okay, so presumably this is something you can do in order to get incredibly powerful stuff. So we'll go around, we'll try to read an inscription. Presumably this will knock us back. It's not even letting us get close. Okay. So in this game, there's a race of aliens or whatever. And they have these things called Pieces of Eden. That's the MacGuffin of the whole game. It's the reason, it's like you're trying to get this particular thing. These aren't them. These aren't Pieces of Eden. These are just presumably very high-powered artifacts. So it looks like we've got some armor here. We've got a knife and a dagger. And in every Assassin's Creed game, there's generally, cobwebs for a start. But there's also generally this sort of thing where, one of the side quests that you can go on is to find some incredibly high-powered stuff. I wonder if there's another way out of here. Neither the Joker nor the thief said that. But I feel like I'd like to go up through there because I feel like there's probably something of interest. Or perhaps not. We'll try to go up this way, and if we cannot... No. These games are pretty unforgiving in what you can and can't climb on, which I suppose is fair enough. Okay, well, we know this is here. We know that at some point we will find mystic artifacts, and we will go through into this place, and we will... Hang on. Well... nowhere else we can really go to. So let's dive down and get out of here. While we're here though, we can also take a look for things. Like, like dirham, whatever that is, bone dice. I would like to know what the bone dice are here for. Also, I feel like old mate with his level of ascent is potentially going to get the bends. Okay, well, good piece of data that we now have around where to go in order to find some high-power gear. Also, we've got to figure out how to unlock them. So presumably we have to go and collect a bunch of stuff. Presumably not bone dice. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm about to die to a bunch of leopards. Or maybe not. Anyway, they were probably quite nice leopards. Also, I have no health now. Probably doesn't bode well, but anyway. Okay. We've got dudes over here. Let's eat some grass because...
Lend me your eyes.
Alright, these guys are probably up to no good. So let's go and hunt them. There's 3 of them, is there? He looks like he's quite handy, actually. Might be a bit difficult. He doesn't look like he doesn't look too awful to deal with. So, I think the other things we want to do... I mean, there's this joint over here. And there's this lake over here. We could go over there. We've already kind of been through here. Or we could just go back to the city. Decisions. What else is there? There's this little joint over here, this rocky outcrop. That could be fun as well. Bit of texture pop in. Alright, so let's go take a look and see what's over here. Right. So I suspect... we're in the wilderness, and this is a place where there is mysterious shards, of which I don't have 2, but I suspect they are what one uses to get those high-powered weapons. Now, I don't think Enkidu, bless him, I don't think Enkidu kind of gets the general idea of what levels enemies are at. So I don't know, for instance.
Show me everything.
You know, I don't want you to show. You've already shown me everything, mate.
Vigilance is its own reward.
We'll be ready if called upon. Want you here.
Okay, so what we're going to do...
Don't worry, I'm here if anything does turn up.
What we're going to do is to systematically assassinate each one of these dudes and hope that our health bar can deal with it.
I better get back.
Eyes open. Think we've got unwanted guests.
We are always on guard.
Seems to be working. Okay, so we basically just continue this, hopefully.
Good. As we were there. So I'll keep an eye out just in case. Hey!
And we keep on doing this. So there's a dude over there. Let's try to get a bit closer. Seriously? Well, this is annoying. Okay, so we've got 3 more dudes to go. I feel like this guy should absolutely be in earshot here. But he is not. Alright, well, we shall continue on. We shall go in this long grass. Actually, we shall eat some of this long grass for a start. Maybe we can entice this guy here.
Hey, what's that?
We can entice this guy here. Okay. One good thing about this version of Assassin's Creed is in other Assassin's Creeds, when you assassinate people, sometimes there is a chance that if they're at a high level, that you can't assassinate them. This game, however, seems to be pretty cool with the notion of just, if they're there, you can assassinate them, which is useful. Okay, I think we've cleaned out this this place. So now we basically just loot everything. Eat everything. And then leave the donkey. What else is there? There's stuff around here. More flamingo feathers. Okay, well that was useful. Let's no, we can't do that here. Let's save here. And we'll continue on. Alright, so we want Enkidu, don't we?
Be my eyes, Enkidu.
Alright, Enkidu. Off your trot, sunshine. Okay. So, yeah, there are these two mysterious ingot things. Not ingots, like jewels and things. No, there's something interesting over there. Let's put a marker there and just see what we can find. Ah, we left one of them alive. And now he's taking a look. But we are long gone. He's wondering where all of his mates are. Sadly, we have stabbed them all in what presumably this game thinks is a righteous fury. Okay, what do we got? We've got all of this stuff around here. Which, to be honest, I think we already went to. Then we have whatever this has got going on. And we have a rocky outcrop. Sadly, I don't think this rocky outcrop will lead to anything particularly interesting. It looks like a particularly dull rocky outcrop, which, to be fair, if you're looking at rocky outcrops, I think that's probably the base level expectation. That a rocky outcrop will indeed just be a boring rocky outcrop. Got these dudes who we looked at before. This is the close-up look at them. They seem like nice fellows. Certainly they're not coming at us. Don't seem to have triggered them in any way. We've got this entire complex over here, but I suspect we'll see that during the game, the main quest. So we'll leave that one alone. And what else have we got? The city is over here somewhere, I want to say. Oh, look at all the flamingos. It's a good-looking game in many places. I don't know whether it's particularly true to Baghdad. I did find out, however, for anyone who's keeping score, what that thing is. This rocky outcrop over here, this...
Cast your gaze, Enkidu.
The Dur, that thing. Nebatean, as I understand. Yeah, so well before anything else kicking around here. Anyway, we won't worry too much about that. This is not a history lesson. I think it was Nevertane anyway. Any case, it's pre whatever else was going on around here. All right, follow the river. I have to say that doesn't look to be a lot more interesting around here. We may hightail it back to the city, which is a shame because we kind of found some fun stuff out here before. There is this thing over here. And a whole bunch of shrubbery. Right, let's go over here and see what this is. Looks to be an interesting complex. Or given the propensity of boxes and things precariously placed on winches, I suspect, yeah, it is. It's a place that one would have to infiltrate. Let's take a look and get an idea of what's going on here with one of these time era appropriate glowing orbs. Camels. I'm glad I got off my camel for this. Right, we've been to 2 of the 13 historical sites. We have also not found any of these mysterious shards that will probably get us that high-level loot. Speaking of high-level loot, we did pick up before. We did pick up before the that dagger thing. So let's take a look at it. The hidden one dagger, initiate dagger. Poisoned melee kills of poisoned enemy create a poison cloud that damages nearby enemies. I'm just gonna try to understand this. Poison thickens the air when foes are felled. That could be fun. What does the other one do? 25 defense damage. Alright, well let's try this hidden one's dagger and then see what it does. Presumably there's a hidden one's sword as well, which would be handy. A town crier who has 0 utility for us right now.
Be warned that a nest of cobras has been tormenting travelers who pass beyond our city gates.
Right. So at some stage we may come up against some snakes. Good to know. Okay. Right, moving right along. I feel like the wilderness is kind of wearing a bit thin. Whereas, I mean, there's all this area down here. We could go down here and see more. But I don't think we will. We can also spend, I think, some skill points, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do because I feel like we have to save up our skill points for things. So instead, we're just going to go through basically the suburbs of Baghdad. Certainly by now, it probably is the suburbs of Baghdad. And try to get our way back to somewhere interesting. Certainly, that's the city there. But I feel like around here there's got to be. Oh, hang on. Am I going to clip through the flamingos? I clipped through the flamingos. Yeah, what I really want to do is to find some, you know, hidden lairs. There's a complete lack of lair here, which is a crying shame. Oh well. All right. Well, let's not mess around too much. Let's just go back to the city, and we will fast travel to the city through this shadow realm of weirdos. Presumably these are your inner demons that you can't get rid of. Bassam, spoiler alert, I think he becomes kind of like the secret chief antagonist for the next game. Not the next game, the previous game, because Valhalla was the previous game. But this is a prequel to Valhalla. Valhalla was set in England. You were a Viking. Okay, let's go and try to find. Okay. Oh, that's no fun. What can this guy sell us?
Well met.
Sure, why not?
What have you got today?
Please have a look around.
Daggers.
I can give it a second life.
Hidden one dagger.
I can give it a good lick for you.
We don't have the things we need for the... We don't... Okay. So he can basically make things
Nothing
better.
else?
But we don't
I
have
must be
the
on my way.
resources that
So
we
long.
need. Also, I'm not sure whether we really need to have this amount of patter with him, to be honest. Okay, alright.
أم أن الصبيان يتفرقون في مكان آخر؟
Well, you see, what should have happened there is that I should have pressed the right prompt, and then that would have meant that we would have jumped up, almost like using a lift. But I didn't, so we didn't. Which was a shame. Okay. More shopkeepers, bunch of guards. Folk to pickpocket. A chest. Well, I mean, you know, we could do that.
Got that one on the thigh from Talal's backswing.
Now, normally when you see one of these explosive urns, it suggests that there are things to explode. But maybe not. All right, across here. There's also this thing here. I don't like my chances. I don't like my chances of getting in here. But the chest that I'm seeking is just right there. Which means it's going to be particularly easy to get to because they don't really want to stuff you around too much. Or it's going to be particularly hard to get to because it's the end of a long, convoluted set of passageways and things.
كيف حالهم على المسار الصحيح؟
سنلتقي
Doesn't
مجددا.
seem like there's an easy way through. Doesn't seem like there's any little pathways or any little underground passages or something. Also, the guards seem to be fairly interested in what I'm doing. So instead, we'll activate this save point over here. Fast travel point, I should say. And be on our way. Oh, hang on. Great Mosque. Oh, good. I wonder if that Great Mosque is still in Baghdad. That would be that, one assumes. Right. Okay. Oh. Yeah, no, that wasn't what I had intended. So we shall try this again. Can we synchronize from here? Can we? There we go. Took a little while. Took a little while, but we got there. Okay. New synchronization point. Hopefully it shows us more synchronization points that we can synchronize with. And the virtuous circle will be complete. Or will continue. As the case may be. Alright. Right, so it showed us a bunch of stuff on the map, none of which is particularly interesting. Still want to get sort of down here into the, you know, suburbs, basically. Because I feel like there's just more things one can do. But anyway. Maybe we need to bite the bullet and just continue on the main quest, which is something that I'm not looking forward to. Grand Mosque could be fun to visit. But this, I think, will all be for another day. Because for now, I think we're done for this particular stream. Until the next time.